In this video, I'm going to show how we can make some very basic tweaks to the embed code that YouTube gives us in order to change the way that the video either behaves or looks when it's added to Moodle. So I'm going to go to YouTube. I've already found a video. In this case, it's one of my own, but it doesn't have to be. I go to the share button, embed, and we copy the code. So I've just done Control and C for copy. I go back into Moodle, make sure editing is turned on, and then I'm going to go into the item where I'm going to add it. In this case, I'm using a Moodle book. I'm going to go into my first page. I'm looking for the Edit HTML Source button, and I paste, update, and what we have here is the basic embed code with the default settings. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a border to the video. Now, in my videos, they're recorded with a white background. So when I embed it into a white page, it's not clear where the edge of the video is. So it just can look a little bit odd. Now, the way that embed code works in YouTube is it will be relatively standard. And within there will be the URL of the video. And within the URL of the video, there will be an 11-digit unique code that is what differentiates one video from the other. So every single YouTube video has a unique 11-digit code. So in my case, it's this code here that I've highlighted in red. For your videos or other videos, there will be a different code. Now, we don't actually need that for this part. All we need is the frame border bit. So you look in the code and you're looking for that bit of code that says frame border equals 0. And all you're going to do is change the 0 to a 1. Now I'll do it in Moodle rather than here. So I edit the settings, I go into the HTML, and I'm looking for frame border equals 0. There it is there in the code. Change the 0 to 1 and update. Save changes. And there we have a light grey border, which just makes it look a lot better on the page in this example. The way that YouTube generally works is once you get to the end of the video, it will then show you suggested other videos to watch, and that will be based on the content of the video you've just watched, but also your own viewing history. And the consequence of that is it can end up leading you down a path of non-appropriate videos, and very quickly it becomes distracting. Now, we can't completely turn that off. YouTube have kind of stopped us from doing that. We used to be able to, but they've kind of stopped it. But what we can do is we can specify that if you are going to show suggested videos, that those suggested videos are at least from the same channel. So if I do that with my video, in this case, it means that at least it will only show suggested videos from my channel rather than others that may be less appropriate. Now, the way that we do that is within the embed code, we find the URL part of it. You find the 11-digit unique code, and then immediately after it and before the closing sort of speech marks, we just add question mark REL equals 0. That's all we have to add to the embed code. So I'll do that within Moodle. So I go to the edit HTML, find the code. In my case, it's ending there with that Q. So question mark REL equals 0. So question mark REL equals 0, update, save changes. So now when I play the video, and I just jump right towards the very end, and when it finishes, in this case it's not showing any suggested videos, but if it did, it would actually be showing ones that are from my own channel. Okay, there it is, it's showing them from my own channel, which is just a little bit slow bringing it up, but at least it's controlling which videos it's showing rather than other people's. Another thing that we can do is we can actually specify the start time of the video. So rather than starting at the beginning, we can actually get it to start at a set point. And the way that we do that is back in the embed code, rather than having the question mark REL equals 0, we have question mark and then start equals, and then you specify the number of seconds that you want it to start at. So you've got to convert your minutes into seconds. So if I was doing 3 minutes, it'd be 180. If it was 3 minutes 10 seconds, it'd be 180 plus 10 makes 190 seconds. So you've got to be able to just convert your minutes into seconds and then add question mark start equals and that number of seconds. So I'll do that in Moodle. So at the end of the code, question mark start equals and the number of seconds that I want it to start at. Update and save. So now when I play, you'll see it starts straight at the 3-minute mark that I've identified. We can then apply a very similar method to specify an end time for the video. So if you only want to show the first couple of minutes of the video, rather than having question mark start equals, you just have question mark end equals. So I'm going to set it to end after 4 minutes, which is 240 seconds. So I'll just change the code within Moodle. So question mark end equals 240, update. And now when I play the video, you'll see there's a little white marker there, which is where it's going to stop. Now the students, if they get to the end, they can just click onto the timeline to actually fast forward past it. So it doesn't stop them seeing the rest of the video, it just stops automatically and therefore suggests that they don't watch anymore. So up until now, we've been adding the items independently. We can actually apply multiple elements, so it can do multiple things rather than doing one at a time like we've done so far. Now the way that we do that is I'm going to add the rel equals 0 back in. So question mark rel equals 0. If I wanted to also specify a start time and an end time, all I have to do is add them after this first item, but rather than using the question mark, which I've been using so far, I use the ampersand or the @ symbol. So I'll do and start equals 180 and end equals 240. I can then also change the frame border to 1 and it will then do all of the things that we've shown combined. So if I go into my video, now I've already applied the settings for us. So when I play the video, you'll see it starts at 3 minutes. It would end at 4. It doesn't actually show you the end point like it does before, but it does end. You can see it's got the border, and you can see that when I stop the video, it is now showing videos from my channel rather than the random ones that were showing previously. I'm Dave Foord. If you wish to get in touch, then please look at my contact details on the screen. I'm based in the UK, but I work with organisations all over the globe, providing consultancy, training and resource development services, mainly in the areas of Moodle and Tatara.